How you doing today? On November 28th, we kicked off our year-end fundraising campaign, and we're thrilled to share that we have an amazing opportunity from the Ninth Lynn Fest Local News Transformation Fund to match the donations that we receive dollar for dollar, up to $10,000. From now until December 31st, any money that you donate to CMP Radio Foundation will be matched by the Ninth Lynn Fest Local News Transformation Fund. That is exciting. As a nonprofit internet radio station that relies on audience support to pay the bills, this is a unique opportunity to set us up for a successful 2024. If we meet our goal of $50,000, it will allow us to focus on what we love most, telling stories that you won't find anywhere else. There's never been a better time to invest in us and help us continue to tell the whole story by giving today. You can go to www.cmpradio.foundation.org/donate or just visit our website. Listen, we've received tons of donations, man. I thank everyone who has done it so far, but we need more, man. We got to keep going. We have an opportunity to maximize whatever we're getting from our community. So go ahead and give to cmpradio.net. www.cmpradio.foundation.org/donate. And remember, CMP Radio is the station.
All right, folks, we are live. Good Monday night. Dave Burman here, Delco Sports 360.com. Special guest. He's from Wilmington, but he has a lot of roots and sports connected to Delaware County, Chester. His name is Mark Sills. Again, a native of the east side of Wilmington, 1982 grad. Played basketball at Glasgow High School, right down the road outside of Newark. Over the years, establishing a well-known Delaware and regional rep as an advocate, organizer, businessman of youth development programs with organized youth basketball programs as a focal point. Mark, we can go on and on. Your business is Urban Youth Incorporated. Thank you very much for coming up here, and it's really not that far of a ride. Well, you live in Dover, however.
Yes, and it's not a bad ride at all.
And then once you get over the Pennsylvania line, though, sometimes on 95. But it's great to have you on. And how did you get so involved in the world of sports? What got you into it? Coaching? You never a head coach, but assistant coach. And a lot of people know you. Chester, especially Chester folks, have the connection with Wilmington and Claymont and all that kind of stuff over the years with Chester High playing a lot of Delaware teams.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Well, I got involved in basketball as a youth. I played all through my youth years, and I got involved in coaching. I coached at Howard High School for 10 years. And so basically I got involved in basketball from playing the game, and then I got involved in coaching. And then coaching led to me starting my own business, running basketball tournaments, basketball leagues, basketball clinics, basketball seminars. So coaching has pretty much led me to where I am today.
So you grew up Wilmington, but you could still go to Glasgow, which is like 15, 20 minutes away?
Yes, we had desegregation back in 1978, so we were forced to go to the schools out in the suburbs.
You're kidding me. They still had Delaware.
Yes.
Now, I was on the radio in Virginia for 13 years, radio down there at 1989, 2002. And they used to bust my chops, call me a Yankee once they found out I was a Pennsylvania guy. But they used to be segregated with the white schools, black schools. Sometimes how can you tell? Some people you can't. Whatever. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
So that stopped in the '60s, though. So Wilmington was still segregated.
Yes. Well,
I mean, the state of Delaware.
Yeah, we brought they got it back into I should say law in the late 70s, 76, 77, and then it started in 78.
All right. So
So it was reorganized or what's the word for it? Not reorganized.
Reclassified?
Reclassified.
Reclassified.
Yes.
Unbelievable. But in sports, basketball, you had teams that looked like they were mixed back in the 70s. So I mean, Milford, didn't they have a couple of,
Yes.
I hate to say
But-
white,
but
black
see-
thing, but white guys, and then
But see, desegregation was only in Newcastle County. See, Milford is down in Sussex County.
Right.
They didn't go through that.
but they played in the state finals.
Yes.
They played Howard. Was it Howard?
They played PS. PS DuPont.
Yeah, DuPont, PS DuPont.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that was interesting. So you lived in the Wilmington area, or outside of Wilmington, and then Glasgow's down the road 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
So you tell me about your high school career.
Well, I didn't have much of a high school career. I played, from elementary school all the way through high school. I played in a lot of leagues, a lot of tournaments, played on a lot of teams. But I wasn't a great player, But I did play, and I was a good player.
Well, at least you went out for the team.
Yes.
And your coach at Glasgow, and we've had some battles. Chester High has had some big-time games with Glasgow, including they're going to play again this year. But who's Coach Hammond, right?
Coach Heyman, yes.
Heyman, excuse me.
Yes.
Yeah. And I read some articles on him. And your dad, the first black mayor of Wilmington?
Yes, in the history of Wilmington, Delaware, my dad was the first black.
Now, what year was he?
He was a two-term mayor. He was there from 1992 to 1990. What was that? 1990. Was that 2000?
So what was that?
1992 to 2000.
What was that like being the son of a political person?
Yeah, it was a very proud moment for me and as well as my family, and we were also proud of my dad, and it was a great accomplishment. And I'll never forget it to this day.
And your dad, 92 years young.
Yes, my dad is 92.
Jim,
years
right?
old. Yes, James.
So how's
Sills.
he doing these days?
He's doing very well. He's very active, and he's still involved in the community, and he still gets around very well.
All right, Mark Sills, our guest. We'll call you Coach Sills, but you're involved in a lot of different things, and including you are in 2 Hall of Fames. I know Don did a great article with you in the Philadelphia Tribune. Don Hunt.
Yes, Donald Hart, my good friend.
Yeah,
yes.
the greatest.
Yes.
Tell us about your Hall of Fames you're in.
Yes.
I know you're a humble guy and everything, but you still have to. Yeah, it's great to. It deserves to be put out on the airwaves.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I was inducted in 2012 in the Philadelphia Association Sports Black Hall of Fame with Wilt Chamberlain, Gene Banks, C. Vivian Stringer, and it was a great event. I'll never forget it. I was very humbled to be recognized up in Philadelphia for my basketball contributions, in the tri-state area and surrounding areas. So that was a great event. And then in 2014, I was inducted into the Delaware Afro-American Sports Hall of Fame for basketball as well. And that was also a great feeling, a great accomplishment. And I was so humbled that people, recognized me and gave me recognition for all I do for kids and what I do in basketball. So I was really just excited about both events, and I'll never forget either one.
You kind of remind me of your buddy in a way, the way you work with the kids, Ralph Dorsey.
Oh, yes. Ralph Dorsey is one of my good friends. I've known Ralph for over 30 years. Ralph is a great, great guy. He does great work in the community. He cares about the kids. He shows them love, and he shows them tough love. And Ralph also gives them guidance and direction. And Ralph is a guy you can count on through thick and thin. He'll give you the shirt off his back. Ralph is a great guy, a family man, and Chester wouldn't be the same without Ralph Dorsey. Ralph does a tremendous job in the community, especially with the biddy league that's been going on since the 50s or 40s, and Ralph Dorsey is a catalyst for that league, and he's a great community leader. I have nothing but respect for Ralph Dorsey.
Of course, I got the Chester Biddy League shirt on. There you go. So I've done over the years a lot of their the championship Sundays when I get an opportunity, public address for the championship games of the Chester Biddy League.
And also, I want to mention, if you don't mind, I had a great relationship with the late Granny Lash.
Oh, man, one of the greatest of all time.
Yes.
I could write a book. Well, I'm not a writer, but I mean, I could. He graduated from Chester in 1960. State finalist in 59. And we could have won it again in 1960. All those guys back, and then there was the issue, and the PIAA gave Chester High just a raw deal after there was an isolated incident after the state final game at the Palestra. You probably heard the story. Yes. So Granny, wow, he played for the Globetrotters a little bit.
Yes, he did. And Granny was a great advocate for community. He was a community leader. He was a staunch supporter of youth. And me and Granny used to talk to the wee hours of the morning about basketball, about life, about all kinds of things. And he was a great friend also, and he's sorely missed. And Granny was also very active in the community, as you know. And Granny was a very great man and a great community leader, as I said earlier. And he used to bring teams to my tournaments.
There you
from
go.
Chester. And we used to have them down in Wilmington, and we used to have a great time. And Granny always supported my programs, and I always tried to support him back.
Mark Sills again, our guest tonight, Delco Sports 360 on cmpradio.net. Oompa is our engineer tonight. I'd like to call him a handsome chap over there, and he has his own show here at CMP. All right, Mark, again, after you graduated Glasgow High School in 1982, your next adventure was?
Well, I went to Delaware State. Well, first of all, I went to Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia, and I went there for 2 years, and I had a great time there, but I got homesick, so I decided to transfer to Delaware State to be closer to home, to be around my friends and family. So I went there, and during the summers, I started coaching. I started coaching in the Storman's Classic Basketball League. The league lasted for over 20 years. And I started coaching in the summers, and by giving back to the community, I would, coach the younger kids, and I was still in college. And that's actually how I started in basketball. Coaching was in the Stormers Classic, and then that led to me getting a job at Howard High School. But I actually started in the Stormers Classic as far as coaching. And the Stormers Classic was a league that kids played in from all over the state of Delaware, even kids from Maryland. And that league lasted for 20 plus years in Wilmington, Delaware. Norman Oliver was the founder of that basketball league. Storm and Norman is what we call them.
Oh, my man from West Philly, right?
No, Storm and Norman's from Wilmington, Delaware.
Wilmington. I'm thinking of Storm and Norman. We had it. I got a picture with them last year. I went to West Philly.
Yes, you're talking about Norman Winston.
The Winston.
Yes,
okay, there you
yes.
go. So and West, he was teammates, I think, with Gene Banks. Unbelievable.
Yes, and Clarence Tillman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, unbelievable. The West Philly Speed Boys are going to be in a tournament coming up. We're going to get to that right now. Let's focus on and I'm going to be public address announcer. 6 games.
6 games.
Not next Sunday, the following Sunday. All right, and we have 6 games. It's going to be held at Mount Pleasant High School. And Keith Taylor, the head coach of Chester High, his son was a really good basketball player at Mount Pleasant. And they've had a nice program over the years. So tell us about the big event coming up, not next Sunday, the Sunday following.
Yes, the event is at Mount Pleasant High School, 5201 Washington Street Extension in Wilmington, Delaware. A tournament pass for the whole day is $20, and we have 6 exciting high-level games. First, we start off at 10:30 a.m. Conrad High School from Wilmington, Delaware will go up against Ben Franklin High School from Philadelphia, PA. Then at 12 p.m.,
let's go over each game and what you know. So
Yes.
Ben Franklin, Ronnie Sizer's the head coach, great guy, They're located in North Philly off Broad Street. They just honored the retired number 24 of Pooh Richardson, 85 grad of Ben Franklin, the Electrons. Do you remember their head coach back in the day? He was a fiery guy, Ken Hamilton.
Yes, I've met Ken Hamilton on several occasions, and yes, he is a fiery guy, and he's very enthusiastic about what he does.
He had some battles with Chester, man. Oh, he would get in it with the crowd. The crowd start getting into it. Whoa. But he just told it like it is, and he's like Bill Ellerby up there, with Gratz. Absolute legend. So your thoughts on this game and what you know about Ben Franklin? I know they got smoked the other day, but it's tough in the Philadelphia Public League. It's tough to keep a lot of your best players because a lot navigate to the Catholic schools and some of the charter schools.
Yes, and that is true. They're rebuilding, and Caravel lost two of their best players to a prep school, so Caravel is shorthanded as well. So this should be a close game because Caravel lost two of their best players. They were two of the best players in the state of Delaware, and they transferred in August.
How far did they go last year in this? And remember, in Delaware, there's only one state champ in the entire state, 3 in football, but just 1 in basketball.
Yes, and Caravel went really far last year. If I'm not mistaken, they went to the quarterfinals, if I'm not mistaken, or semifinals last year, and they lost. But they actually beat Salesianum during the season also by 20 points. And Salesianum won the championship.
So they won the state championship last year in basketball, Salesianum.
Yes, and Caravel beat them by 20 points.
Right, and they just won the football state championship over
yes.
Cape and Lopin High School from Lewis, Rehoboth Beach. That was a great story.
Yes.
Great story there.
Yes.
So, all right, so you got Caravel. Where'd the guys go?
They went, I was told to, I don't know if you guys heard of West Nottingham.
Oh, yeah. Is that Pennsylvania?
If I'm not mistaken, that is Pennsylvania.
Some little boarding school?
Yes, it's a prep boarding school.
Yeah, but that's, oh, man, these guys must have been But Caravel is a private school, too, right?
Yes, a high-level private school, yes.
All right, so that's, all right, Ben Franklin against Caravel, 10:30. And I'm blank on the date again. It's 2 Sundays.
Yes, we are at December 17th.
17th. All right.
Yes.
I better
Sunday.
Sunday. I better be there because I'm announcing the game. So it'll be a lot of basketball. I better save my voice. I'm doing all kinds of games, starting with the basketball. All right. So game number 2.
The second game on tap is at 12 p.m. start time. We have, Caravel in Frankfurt is at 10:30 is the first game. Conrad is playing Ben Franklin.
Conrad is
playing Ben Franklin.
Okay, so what's Conrad look like? So
Conrad lost their best player to William Penn. He transferred to William Penn, and he is one of the best players in the state of Delaware. So Conrad lost him. So Conrad's going to be shorthanded as well this year.
Private school?
Conrad is not a private school, but what is the word for it?
Like Howard? Similar?
Yes, similar. It's not a trade school, but it's
charter. There's no
it's
charter.
like a charter.
All right. So, so, and then the name of the young man that. So he's going to William Penn. They're always pretty darn good.
Yes, his name escapes me right now. Oh, wow. But he moved on.
Yes. But now in Pennsylvania, if you transfer, before 10th grade, you're eligible to play in the playoffs. After that, it depends if the other school's going to fight it. If you're going to be ineligible or not for the postseason, they don't have to deal with that in Delaware. You guys can it's a free state or open state or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah. So all right. So you got that. So you got that game there.
Yes.
All right. So again, let's say 10:30 is going to be
Conrad and Ben Franklin.
Okay, gotcha.
Then Caravel is playing Frankfurt at 12 p.m.
Oh, the Pioneers. They were great back in the day with the Warley brothers.
Yes, I remember those guys.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And I think, didn't Rico Washington play for Frankfurt?
Got me on that one, but I should know.
Yes,
I know my gurus out there. They're tuning in.
Yes.
A lot of guys from Chester, they follow all this. Unbelievable history. But I remember Rico.
Yes.
Then game number 3.
Yes, that's the 1:30 p.m. game. We have Dickinson High School playing Dobbins Tech.
Dobbins Tech. Made a nice run last year, located right across the street from the old Connie Mack Stadium, 21st and Lehigh in Philly. Great program. Hank the Bank Gathers went there. Bo Kimball. Bo was coaching at Overbrook. He had. I hope he's still. Did you hear anything?
Yeah, he's no longer there, but his brother is there, and they have a new head coach.
He did a great job. I got a picture with him. They went to the state playoffs last year.
Yes.
No fans at the game. It was out of Coatesville, and they played Eastern York. They were 4A, and Eastern York. It's a small town. Hellam, Wrightsville. They had like 1,000 people there. In the gym, and then it was so sad. My wife was actually pulling for Overbrook to win because they had maybe some cheerleaders, and that was it. But anyway, well, hopefully we'll get a big crowd here. You get out and support these kids here.
Absolutely. Yes.
So Dobbins Tech, a lot of history.
Yeah, it should be exciting. Yeah, it should be very
And Dawn Staley.
Yeah, exactly.
Other alumni.
And Dickinson High School's assistant coach, I don't know if you know James Reeler.
It rings a bell. Did he?
He grew up in Darby Township.
Oh, wow.
He played on those teams that were undefeated back in the day.
62, 63?
Yes, yeah. James Reeler, he's one of the star players on the team.
How old
James,
would he be?
Mr. Reeler is probably, in his 70s.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got to look, as I'm doing this, I'm going to look this up because I've done a lot of stories on those teams.
Yes,
so is Don Hunt.
Yes, and then he also played in college for Cheney State University.
Under John Chaney?
I know he played under the coach before John Chaney. I can't think of his name.
That's great. Yeah. Darby, he played for Darby, James Reeler. So he's at Dickinson. How many years has he been there?
He's been there. First, he was the head coach. He was there for 30 plus years and then he retired. And then he came back, and now he's assistant coach.
Oh, my gosh. Unbelievable. They've had some great teams. So Darby Township. No, Darby Township is Sharon Hill area. That's now Academy Park. Darby, Colwyn, it was Darby. That's Penwood. Yep.
Yes, that's where
Darby
he's from.
Colwyn.
That's where he's from,
yeah. I'm trying to find some history.
He played on those teams that went undefeated.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at, I had the 62, 63. He played with, there's Dave.
Right
there he is.
James Reeler.
Yeah. Wow. Incredible. Harold Booker played on that team.
Harold Booker, yeah.
Dave Kennard, who's good friends with our public address announcer you had last year. Me and him split the duties at your tournament last year. James Peach Howard's friend with Dave Kennard. There's James Reeler. Wow. Yeah. Charles Coleman. Man, this is a 1963 all Delco team. Yeah. And I pulled it up. That's awesome. Yeah. So what year? Let's see. James would have been that year. James Reeler he was a senior, averaged 9 points a game, but it's incredible there. So he's still coaching. He's got to be 70 or more.
76, 77.
All right, well, great. I look forward to seeing him, man. So does he live down there now?
He lives down there, and he's a basketball legend down in Delaware.
Unbelievable. That's great stuff. And so who they play again? They
play Dobbins Tech.
So it's Dobbins Tech against Dickinson.
Yes, 1:30 p.m. start.
Then you have a fourth game.
Yes, then at 3 p.m. we have St. Mark's High School from Wilmington. They're going to play West Philly High, the Speed Boys.
Who Chester plays, by the way.
Yes.
Chester High plays West Philly December the 15th, Friday night at West Philly. I have a 4 o'clock tip-off for that game. So maybe that's the JVs. I think the JV would start at 4. But West Philly, they got the Butts kid back.
Yes.
And they should really, really great coach, tough schedule. So Chester plays them next Friday, the 15th, up there, Speed Boys, and then they come down to your tournament.
Yes.
So maybe Chester will, it's going to be a tough game.
Yes.
So it's great to have them. And St. Mark, West Philly, run and gun, very athletic traditionally. Yes. St. Mark's has always been, I saw them win the state title with the buzzer miracle shot against William Penn in 1995. Yes. Alex Carlson.
Yes.
They had John Gordon. Unbelievable. I was there. It was incredible. I can't believe it's been 28 years ago already. Yeah. But St. Mark's, Sibley was the coach.
Yes, Lee Sibley.
Right. So do they still play the methodical, slow it down, zone defense type team?
They do, and they have a new coach, Mr. Lonnie Wright, and he's been there, I think this is his 3rd year, and he has a good team. He's doing a great job.
So they Yeah, down there, say they're up here with a lot of people recruiting and stuff like that. But Delaware, they just it's it happy. I know you don't want your kid to stay home if he can, but you got a lot of private schools down there.
A whole bunch.
Unbelievable. So there you go. That's awesome. And then game number 5.
Yes, 4:30 p.m. We have Newark High School from Newark, Delaware. They're going to play Chichester High School, which is just over down the road.
Chester, Clyde the Glide Jones, great coach. They had their best year in program history last year under Clyde, who before that was at Girard College, took them to a single-A state championship game before losing. And before that, many years at Penwood High School, led them to a state championship in 2010. So Clyde has done a great job at Chichester. They off to a rough start, but they lost a couple of games. But they have Carlton Silk Gordy was a great player at Chester. His grandson is a star on the team.
I've heard about him, yes, and I've read up on him. Yeah, I heard he's a very good ball player, and he was also in that Super 60 showcase.
Big 60 showcase.
Yes,
You saw the picture. Me and Carlton. Yeah.
Yes.
So you got Chichester. Good for them in your tournament. And last year, they made the state tournament. They beat Chester for the first time. They play Chester twice a year. Yes. Regular season, Del Val. First time they beat Chester ever at Chester High. And they've been playing on and off at least into the 60s. That's and I had the records of it. Unbelievable. But Chester still beat them in overtime at Chichester. Yeah. So that was the first time Chichester beat Chester ever anywhere since Clarence Armstrong.
Wow.
His team when it was 87.
Yeah, wow.
So there you go. I got that information right. If I'm wrong, well, that's amazing. There it is. So Chi's goal this year is to try to beat Chester at Chichester to break that streak. But Chester, they don't want that to happen. Chester, and Keith has done a great job there. We lost some kids at the private schools, but he's working, and hopefully we'll see how Chester fares against math, civics, and science coming up this week. They play Mount Pleasant, Delaware, as you see Saturday. Chester High, December 9th, and then West Philly. But anyway, the final game of the night at your tournament coming up on Sunday, December the 17th.
Yes, we have a 6 p.m. start. We have Mount Pleasant High School, which is the home team. They're going to play Overbrook High School in the finale of the showcase.
So there you go.
That should be a really good game.
Yeah, so we got the 6 big games. It's pretty intense. And you just, how do you set this up? How do you get the officials? I mean, you got the public address guy, but it was Howard last year.
Yes.
So now at Mount Pleasant, you have to work with Mount Pleasant to get this done.
Yes, and I don't do it by myself. I have my partner, William Williams, who's been with me through thick and thin for the past 30 years. He's my right-hand man, along with Norman Winston, and those guys have been helping me for years and years, and his basketball officials have been so loyal and dedicated to me and my basketball business and basketball events. They're called UBBO from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and they've been just so good to me over the years. And also I have another assistant, Mrs. Serena Daniels. She does an excellent job, and she's been great for me for a few years now. And I'm so grateful to have such an outstanding staff to support me, because I cannot do this by myself.
No way. So can people get tickets at the door?
Tickets can be purchased at the door.
Good old cash.
Good old cash.
All right, good old cash. All right, there you go.
Or if you want to get them in advance, you can cash at me to my Cash App account, $ Timmonton. That's $TEMETAN, and you can get tickets that way as well.
6 games. $20. Curtis Watkins, I'm sure, will be there. The guru Curtis. He used to work for Mid-Atlantic Sports News. Saw him at the game last year, and I haven't talked to him. Usually, he gives me like a preview of what's going on in Delaware. But Curtis, he's unbelievable.
Yes, Curtis is a great resource for basketball information and basketball happenings around the area. And I talk to Curtis usually 2 or 3 times a week, and he keeps me updated on what's happening in the tri-state area. And I try to keep him updated on everything that I know what's going on and what's happening too. So we keep each other updated. And he's a basketball guru.
Oh, for years, he's a Chester guy. He's a Chester guy. And I went to, middle school with his brother, Dodie Watkins. So I first thought you went through Chester School District, Chester Upland through 6th grade, then we moved to Wallingford. So that's a story there. But I met all these guys. It's great seeing them at the Chester football games. How about the year Chester had in football, 12-2, unbelievable.
Great year, tremendous year for Chester football, and I'm sure the community is still buzzing about it.
Yeah, that crowd with Strathaven was unbelievable because you got Wallingford next door up here, and then Chester was unbelievable. Yeah. And Dennis Shaw, no show. I'm on vacation next week. No show next Monday, but Dennis Shaw will be on the following Monday. We're going to wrap up Chester High football for 2023. Dennis's brother, Dion, had him on the show last week. He's an assistant coach for Imhotep Charter, and they're in the state finals 5A against Peters Township out of Pittsburgh 5A. 6A, by the way, is St. Joe's Prep. All right, St. Joe's Prep taking on a really tough team out suburban Pittsburgh, North Allegheny. So just trying to throw all this stuff right in here. So I know you fought, and congrats to Salesianum. That's such a small school.
Yes, and they're all boys, and they get the pick of the litter. They get all the top athletes, their choice of the top athletes, and they do a great job. I have to give them their respect.
But they lose sometimes at the public schools too.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
I did again. The first time I was ever at their facility, Abysinio Stadium. Okay, did I get it right here? I was public address announcer for a couple of games. It was a showcase, and St. Joe's Prep played St. Peter's, traditionally a great team, and just blew them out. So it was kind of, you have to see St. Joe's Prep in person if you can believe it. To see it, to believe it. You know what I mean? So they, they get a lot of great players, but they have lost 2 state finals up here to public schools, both from the Pittsburgh area, public town team. So it can happen.
It can happen.
Just like Imhotep. You just never know. So anyway, Cape and Lope, a great story. Did Tatnall win the state championship football in AA?
They did. They won the state championship in football. They won going away. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, now Tatnall's
is a private school.
Is a private school.
Yes.
And when they get their kids
from everywhere.
Everywhere. All right. So big tournament next week, the Winter Showcase, and it starts 10:30 in the morning on the December the 17th at Mount Pleasant High School. To get there, let's say my peeps up here want to go for Chichester too. We have a lot of people from right down the road. But which way do you go? You go down 95, and then where do you get off to get to Mount Pleasant?
You can get off at the Namans Road exit, or you can get off the Marsh Road exit. But I recommend the Marsh Road exit. That's quicker and closer to Mount Pleasant High School.
Oh, really close? Yeah. Yeah, and Howard is more into the city. Yes. That was a great event last year. You had West Philly, you had Chester, some intense games.
Yeah, it was, and it was really well done, and I really appreciate your support. You did an outstanding job with your announcing, and everybody enjoyed you.
Yeah, no problems with. Sometimes I try to keep it close to the vest most of the time. I get homerish. Maybe a little with Chester football, coach a little bit, but I'm not really a yeller and screamer. And I try to enunciate my words so people know who scores the baskets, who the fouls are on. So never been to Mount Pleasant's gym. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice gym. It holds maybe 1,000 people, and it has bleachers on both sides, and they have a beautiful court, and they have a humongous parking lot. So it's plenty of parking, and the school is beautiful. It's a really, really nice, and it is close to I-95 exits, so it's very close.
You need to contact the Delco Times, since we have a Delaware County team in there, and a lot of people. Yeah, there's so much. How many Delaware County people live over the line there in Delaware? Yes. That million. I don't want to say millions, but thousands. Yes. So Delco Times, get in touch with them. I'm telling you right on the air right now. Yes. So, and then of course the dialogue with Mr. Lang.
Oh yes, Gary. Yes,
Mike Lang.
Or is it Mike? Yes, yeah. Mike.
Right. So, and then you have the Delaware. The Delaware News Journal.
Yes.
So you have a good rapport with these guys.
I do. I have a good rapport with the News Journal.
Yeah.
And I used to have a good rapport with the Delaware County Times. Rob Knox. I don't think Rob.
I just saw him in a game. He did an unbelievable job, man. But he's still around. He went to. I saw him at Chester. Met his kids in person. He's doing a lot of stuff, and hopefully, and get in touch with Coach Jones to promote on their instant messages. But still, there's nothing to me about how about City of Basketball love Philly.
Yes, I'm going to reach out to them.
Josh
also.
Verlin, yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
I talked to him on the phone.
Well, yeah. Look at all the Philly teams there, and so the more PR you get, the more people hear about it, and you can replay our show
Yes,
too.
absolutely.
So hopefully get the big crowds, and it's an unbelievable deal, $20 for 6 games.
Yes,
right?
yes, that's a good deal.
And next Sunday,
Yes.
well, actually, the 17th of this month, December. All right. So again, Mark Sills, coach. You never got a head coach job. Is that your choice?
Well, no, I was actually offered a head coaching job after we won the state championship at Howard High School, and I considered it, but I decided to stay at Howard because Howard is where I started, and Howard was a school that embraced me, and Howard was a school that gave me a chance, and Howard was a school that I just fell in love with. So I decided to stay there.
What year are you talking the state
We won the
champion?
state championship in 1996.
There you go. The year after St. Mark's won it. And the year Kobe Bryant won the large school up here. I
That's
don't know.
exactly right for Lower Marion High School.
Yeah, yep. Beat Chester twice that year. District championship, state semis. Okay, but okay, Kobe got it done.
Yes.
And it was almost like it was like a storybook thing. Wins a state championship in high school, then he goes right to the NBA, and then wins a lot of state national or NBA titles with the Lakers. So 82, you graduate, you go to college, and then after college, let's get into your business career, which is really heavily involved in sports.
Yes, so I started my own company called Urban Youth Incorporated, and we run basketball tournaments all over the tri-state area. We run basketball tournaments in Maryland, Florida, Georgia, Alabama. I've even had tournaments in Toronto, Canada, and we do tournaments, we do basketball leagues, we do clinics. We also help kids get scholarships for basketball. We've also helped kids get football scholarships. We've helped kids with their tuition. We've helped kids get, help with their school books. We've mentored kids. We mentor girls. We mentor boys. So we do a variety of things in the community, and we're always giving back to the community. And that's one thing I was taught by my parents, was to always give back, and we do that as well. So we've been doing this for 30 years. I've been involved in basketball with my business for the past 30 years, and I'm very grateful for the support of the community, and very grateful for all the support I get in the tri-state area. And I've made many friends over the years, and I met so many people through basketball. If it wasn't for basketball, half of these people I probably would have never met.
Yeah, I check you. Look him up, Mark MarkSills on Facebook. But you have other. I'm pretty much a Facebook guy. I do some updates on Twitter here and there, but you're all over the place with the social media stuff.
Yes,
Are you like on that Instagram too?
I'm on Instagram as well. Yes. Yes, and I
right.
Try to stay busy, and I'm also president of the Delaware Afro-American Sports Hall of Fame. I've been president the past 5 years. Also, I serve on the Delaware Basketball Hall of Fame committee. I've been a board member for the past 7 years, and also I serve on the Delaware Sports Writers and Broadcasters Association board, and I've been a board member there for the past 7 years. And also, I'm heavily involved in Delaware State University's athletic department. I'm a friend of the school, and I'm an alumnus of the school, and I try to help the athletic department any way I can. So I've been involved with the Delaware State University for the past 27 years.
Yeah, I see you again online, and you are all over the place. I see you in New York. I see it here, there, just unbelievable pictures with just, as you say, legends.
Yes, it's been an honor and a privilege to meet all these people that I've met through the years, and I'm so grateful that God has blessed me with this business and blessed me to meet so many wonderful people, and God has just been just so good to me and my family, and I just am forever grateful.
Do you ever get a chance to go see the college games? I know Wilmington, one of our Chester guys, is playing there. Skip Burton Wilmington, and do you know Fareed, the dad?
Yes, I know Fareed well.
Okay,
yes,
all right,
yes,
okay.
Fareed, yes.
All right.
He also, for many years, used to bring teams to my tournaments, and I've gotten to know Fareed for a long, long time now, and he's also a good friend.
He was a scrappy guard.
Very tough.
1998, yes.
Very tough.
Kenny Tate, who's now one of the assistants for Chester. We can go on and on. So, yeah, I mean, you got the Delaware State?
Yes, Delaware State. I go to quite a few games there, and I'm a staunch supporter of the school and the athletic department and the Alumni Association.
Stan Waterman is still
Stan Waterman is still the coach there. He's my childhood, lifelong friend. We grew up together on the east side of Wilmington. We're lifelong friends. I played baseball against him, basketball against him growing up, and he is my childhood friend, and I'm in full support of what he's doing, and he's doing a good job, and he's turning the program around, and I'm going to be behind him 100%.
It's Division I basketball. Delaware State, yeah. Stan, and he had some wars with Chester back in the day when he was a head coach at Sanford. Jair Davis, I'll never forget him. I announced a game on DelcoHoops.com, a local radio network. It was my first year back, 2015-16. Jair was playing varsity in 8th grade.
He sure was, and he was a hell of an 8th grader.
He was. They beat Chester that night, 2015-16. Yeah. Where's Jair now?
Jair is doing great things. I'm so proud of him. He's at the University of Delaware. He's the star of the team, leading scorer of the team, and he's doing really well. And I think he has a chance to get a shot at the league.
And Mikey Dixon was another. Was that?
Mikey Dixon, yes.
He was a slithery guard on Sanford.
Yes, and he came through my program as well as Jair Davis, and he's doing really well. He's overseas, playing professionally overseas right now.
So many guys. I mean, Delaware's produced bunch of NBA guys, right?
Yes.
Off the top of your head, can you throw some out there?
Yes, like Terrence Stansberry.
Oh yeah. Temple, right?
Temple,
yeah.
And Wilmington, and then you got Dante DiVincenzo.
Yes,
he came through my program.
2-time NCAA champ with Jay Wright.
Yes, and then we have Bones Highland, who came through my program. He's played in my tournaments and leagues ever since he was 10 years old. He came through, and then we have Elena Deldon. She played in my leagues and tournaments since she was 11 years old, and she's doing great things.
She's still at WNBA.
She's WNBA.
Was that her brother, the head coach of Salesiana football?
Yes, that is her brother.
Gene, right?
Gene Delma.
Yeah,
yes.
I tried to. I gave him some shouts. Yeah, I never met Elena, right?
Yes.
Elena in person, but what a. Following her with seeing some posts over the years, a very down to earth, signs autographs and all that stuff.
Yes, very humble young lady, and also Banaja Laney. She came through my program as well. She plays in the WNBA for the New York Liberty.
Now, where'd she go to high school?
She went to Smyrna High School, and you probably know who her mother is. She's a legendary Yolanda Laney from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, who played for Cheyney State University, who played in the national championship game, first black college to go to the national championship game in 1982, 81,
Did they
82.
lose?
They lost to Louisiana Tech. Milwaukee was the point guard. But they're being inducted into the Women's College Basketball Hall of Fame on April 27th, 2024.
And you'll be there, I'm sure.
I will be there.
And so does your wife go to all these events? Can we talk about your wife and kids?
Well, my son, he's 32 years old. He played back when he was younger, and of course, he played football and basketball, and he helps me out occasionally at the games.
What's his name again?
My son's name is Ryan Trice.
Okay, so yes. Ryan. So did he play? What high school did he go to?
He went to McKean High School, and that's in Wilmington also.
That's a public school.
That is a public school.
Okay.
Yes, right off of Kirkwood Highway, Wilmington.
So it was Glasgow. Yeah, my wife's daughter and her husband, they live. There's a housing complex right next to the Glasgow, but they are moving. By the way, they're not that far. They're going to Middletown. Why so many people, especially Chester people, they love Middletown.
Yes, it's a lot down there, a lot of great housing opportunities, a lot of jobs. There's a lot of stores, a lot of restaurants, a lot of entertainment. It's a booming city. It's like a baby Wilmington, Delaware.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Middletown.
yeah.
You have to go over that because we go down the road with Beach a couple times a year. Go over the bridge.
Yes.
What's the name of that bridge? I love it.
You're talking about the oh boy.
It's a beautiful bridge.
Yeah, it's a beautiful. It's old.
You're going to go over tonight.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I think going home.
Yes,
Dover.
to go
yeah.
home. Yes. But
So-
the bridge, the name escapes me at the
okay,
moment.
yeah, but
yeah, that bridge has been there forever and
there's
day.
a toll. There's a toll. So,
Yes,
yeah.
seriously. Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, man. So Dover, they've had some great sports too. That's a good old small town.
Yes.
School.
Yes, in Dover they have a great feeder program because they get kids, from all over the Kent County area. So they're always good in football, always good in basketball, track and field. And Dover's always competitive in sports. They're always there every year.
Downstate though, really good teams. Cape and Lopin,
Yes.
they should be better in basketball this year. They had they won the actual boys volleyball state championship last spring. Cape and Lopin, which serves Lewis, Delaware,
Yes.
and of course Rehoboth Beach in that area.
Sussex County area.
Sussex County,
Yeah.
yeah. So Cape and Lopin, they should be hopefully. What a facility they have.
Yeah, their facility state of the art. It's one of the best in the state of Delaware, and probably one of the best in the surrounding area. It's beautiful.
Still have the slam dunk to the beach down there.
Yes, they still have that there, and that's going on this year, December 26th through the 29th.
There you go, Mark Sills. Okay, so back to your career, coaching, and so you've been basically. What is your main job? You have it seems like you have two or three that you're.
Yes, well, my main job is my duties as president and founder of Urban Youth Incorporated. That is my main job, and I have plenty of help, and I've been blessed with so many people who have supported me and my business for the past 30 years. So that is my main job.
What do you do there? What is that all?
My job is to organize and put together events for kids to keep them off the streets and keep them out of harm's way and give them structured activities in a safe environment. And my job also is to recruit teams and to put together tournaments and leagues and put together girls and boys activities. So it's basketball tournaments, it's basketball leagues, basketball clinics, basketball seminars. We do mentorship, as I stated earlier. So those are my main I should say duties as president and founder. And of course I have, like I said earlier, my right-hand man, William Williams, who's been with me the past 30 years, and Norman Winston and Serena Daniels have been so supportive of me, along with UBBO basketball officials who have kept me and shown me the way, because I can't do everything, because they've been so great to me. I can't be so, indebted to them for
There
life.
you go.
Yes, indebted to them for life, and I'm just grateful for everything that's happened to me at this point in my life.
So you took time out to come up here tonight. All right. So let's talk about tomorrow. What kind of day? What's your day like? Besides, you go home tonight. Yeah. Can you sleep 8 hours?
Yes, I can.
Great.
Yes, I can.
All right.
I mainly talk on the phone to coaches, and I talk to scouts and
keep
officials.
In touch with me.
Yes, and keep in touch with you quite often. And I put together events, and I try to organize events and put together dates, and I try to put together facilities to have these tournaments and leagues. And so those are mainly the things I do. And I do a lot of emailing, and I do a lot of promoting my upcoming events through email, social media, Twitter, Instagram, word of mouth, flyers, talking on the phone, talking to the person on the street. So I do a variety.
Any talk shows down there? Any TV or radio, the internet that's similar to this show?
Yeah, there's several. There's one that's a political show, but they also have subjects for sports as well, different sports. It's called Community Crossfire. Norman Oliver, who I mentioned earlier, that's his show. Norman Oliver is the founder and director of the Stormers Classic Basketball League that I was a part of.
So it's kind of similar to here at cmpradio.net.
Correct. but his is on television.
Oh, actual TV, the
Yes,
TV set.
yes,
What,
yes.
What channel? is it?
Channel 28. That's in Wilmington, Channel 28. His show comes on Sundays at 9 p.m. every Sunday for the past 30 years.
What affiliate is that? Channel 28.
That is a private channel in Wilmington. It's owned by Lapa. I don't know if you heard of Lapa. They're a new company that's been around for about, I think, 4 years now, 5 years.
Well, look them up, Facebook, for more information. I'll go with Facebook, but Mark, MarkSills. How do you go about getting sponsors, advertisers?
Well, to be honest, that part of it, I really don't go after too much. I try to do things on my own, but if a sponsor wants to help me, I will not turn them down. But that part of it, I really don't go after a lot of.
Well, let's say somebody wants to put a banner of, Joe Blow's Body Shop in Milford or something like that, and they can get a banner or something like that.
Oh yeah, I would definitely accept them for that.
Grotto's Pizza.
Yes, or McDonald's.
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
I definitely would accept people for that, and I try to help other businesses as well by promoting their business.
Yeah.
And so yes, in terms of that, I do that. Yes.
It's great exposure, and you have to talk about the price is negotiable, whatever it is, but people want to do it. It's a great opportunity,
Yes.
and we sponsors here. We always looking for sponsors here at cmpradio.net. So that's you're a busy man, and what's your wife do?
My wife is a homemaker.
There it is.
Yes.
And you guys been married a long time?
Yes, 18 years.
Okay, that's me and my honey been together 11 years. There you go. Oompa, you married yet?
Yeah, I'm married.
Okay, well, that's all right. Come on, man, be excited about it. Because my wife is like my right. I mean, she's like, she comes to the games with me. Yeah. She keeps me in line. Yeah. Always keeping an eye on me. So yeah, it's great, and it's great when she can come to the game. I try to get her to go to all the games, but it's just like it's a long day, like coming up for like 6 games but she can handle a game here and there. So busy schedule coming up for me. So can I run down real quick? Chester High boys basketball. Yes. They play some Delaware teams this year. Maybe you can give us a preview? All right. So Chester, it's going to be this Saturday. Down there on the road, Chester High Clippers. It's always because people love the cheerleaders. People love Chester High with a history, the 8 state titles, 18 trips to the finals. Mount Pleasant, that's a 2:00 start, it looks like, on Saturday. So tell us about Mount Pleasant again.
Mount Pleasant, they have 2 transfers that just came in. 2 of their star players are from St. Elizabeth's High School. They're actually twins, and they now play for Mount Pleasant. So Mount Pleasant's going to be a team to be reckoned with, and Mount Pleasant should give them a good game.
Yeah, and Chester is they're scrappy. They're scrappy.
Yes,
and
Keith Taylor's doing a great job, considering that he's had several players leave his program for different reasons. But I strongly support Keith, and I think he's doing a great job. And I just am just very happy for Keith.
Assistant coaches, you got Terry Thomas, who's Mr. Statman. You got Conrad Chambers, who is a Clipper great. And we have Jimmy Dennis, won a state championship in '89, and his Jimmy's daughter Jordan is playing for the Chester High girls. Do you ever have a Boo Dukes? Have you met Marvin over the years?
Yes, Marvin is a very good friend of mine. I forgot to mention Marvin. He's also my fraternity brother.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yes, and Marvin's doing a great job as well. And Marvin is a guy who I can count on as well.
Nice. So Jimmy Dennis's daughter Jordan is playing she's a sophomore for Chester High.
Yes, I've read up on her, and she's doing very well.
Yes, had a good first game, and they lost a tough one, 2 points to Marple Newtown, who's always a very solid program. So back to Chester High boys here. Let's see. Then Chester plays another trip to Newark High in Delaware, and that's a 4:00 afternoon start on a Wednesday, January 17th.
Yes, in Newark, they traditionally play their games early, and their head coach is Shannon McCants. He was a 4-year starter for Lincoln University. He's in the Lincoln University Sports Hall of Fame, and he's a good friend of mine. He's doing an excellent job. He also played on the Newark High School state championship teams in the late 80s.
80s. They had some unbelievable state championship teams in football, Newark.
Newark had a football dynasty. Yes.
I know. What happened? What you know?
Well,
just-
with all the different charter schools now taking kids away from the public schools, that hurt Newark, and then Newark's enrollment went down consequently because of that. And then a lot of kids are going to the Catholic and private schools, so that hurt Newark as well, because Newark had a powerhouse football program for decades.
Oh yeah, I was looking at the records the other day. Let's see here, and then Chester takes on your alma mater, Glasgow, up here at the Fred Pickett Gymnasium, February 3rd, Saturday at noon. So in Glasgow, can you fill us in on them real quick? Your alma mater.
Well, Glasgow has a new coach. His name is Coach Laws. And I don't know much about what he has this year. I haven't seen him play yet, so I can't really talk about them because I haven't seen them or I haven't heard anything about them as of yet. It's still early.
But as the year goes on, all these schools have nice websites you can check. I forget the exact name of it. But
Yeah, websites for sports.com.
Yep, there it is.
Yes.
There it is. So, again, the connection. Now, Ron Johnson, the late great,
Yes, my good friend.
Chester native.
Yes,
And
Ronald McDonald is what we called him.
did some research. He told me to look him up. So he moved from Chester to Wilmington
In the 10th grade.
at 10th grade, and I have an article. I think an article and picture. I think he played for Chester High in his 10th grade year, right?
He sure did.
Then he went
to Wilmington High his last 2 years.
right Wilmington High, and they won a state championship with him.
Yes, in 1972, and he was Player of the Year of the state of Delaware.
And the year before they lost, I think, in the semis to
They lost to Howard, if I'm not mistaken, in the semis. Howard High School.
I knew Milford.
Or no, I'm sorry, it was Milford in 71.
71.
Yes.
And the head coach of Milford, and he's still with us,
Mr. McGinnis.
Danny McGinnis,
Yes.
friend of my dad. He graduated Danny McGinnis, Chester High in 1954. Scrappy guard. Love to see him again. I do call occasionally to see if he's around. He lives in Milford. He still lives there. So Danny was the head coach. And he was on the 54 Chester team that lost to Farrell, which is out in Western PA, and we just had trouble beating them. They were tough steel kids, big, strong.
Yeah.
So we lost to Farrell. 54. Danny graduated. My dad graduated 55. So yeah, it's unbelievable, the Chester connection with Delaware.
Yes, tremendous connection. And also, I forgot to mention, I had a great relationship with the late Alonzo Lewis.
His grandson, very good football player.
Yes, and his daughter, she played in my tournaments growing up through middle school through high school. So I got to know his daughter, and I got to know Mr. Lewis's wife.
Very, very nice lady. Yeah.
Yes,
so,
very much so.
yeah. So Solomon Dotson is the 9th grader for Chester. Had a
Yes.
tremendous year, and we had a bunch of freshmen getting on our football team getting time this year. But Alonzo, he's a Derby guy.
Yes.
And then he went to LaSalle. I mean, what a career. And then he coached Rick Pergolini, I think it was Derby Township back in the day. And then he went to which became Academy Park.
Yes.
Then he was at Chester he won 2 state championships.
Yes.
If you recall,
Yes.
the first one, 89.
Yes.
And we had to get by Glenn Mills and Penwood and the late, great Rap Curry. I can go on and on. Then again in 94 with Ray Carroll. And so, you know Pooh Evans?
Pooh Evans, yes, I know Pooh Evans, and I know his baby brother, Tariq Evans. Tariq Evans played in my tournaments from 7th grade all the way through high school. He played in my tournaments and leagues, and I know his whole family. He has a great family, and they're just wonderful people, and so proud of Tariq. He had tremendous talent. He was one of the greatest ever to come out of Chester, without a doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Eric was a member of the 94 team. Pooh, they call
Yes,
all right.
yes.
So he now is for years Fidance.
Yeah, he's doing great things training.
And I was public address for a semi-pro game the other night at the old St. James gym. It used to change. St. James High School closed in '93. They had some unbelievable battles back in the day with Chester and the Philadelphia Catholic League. But yeah, the gym is remodeled. If you saw the video I did, unbelievable job that Pooh Evans is doing. I met his wife real quick, And it was, it's always busy when you announce games because you're doing your stats and trying to get the lineups and everything. But yeah, St. James High School, the gym looks great. Maybe you can get involved, give Pooh a call, maybe get a special game there.
Yeah, that would be beautiful. I would love to have a game at that historic gym, and that would be tremendous. Maybe I'll try to set it up with him.
All right. Again, can we run down one final time here in the last of the tournament? We have 3 minutes, and we can run down the tournament, the third annual Winter Showcase, boys high school basketball, 6 games at Mount Pleasant High School this year outside of Wilmington. And it's going to be Sunday starting at 10:30 in the morning, and it's going to be Sunday the 17th of December. Okay, Mark, take it away with the matchups.
Yes, and on December 17th, Sunday at Mount Pleasant High School, we have, for the 10:30 game, we have Conrad High School from Delaware, Wilmington, against Ben Franklin High School from Philadelphia, PA. Then at the 12 p.m. spot, we have Caravel Academy from Baird, Delaware versus Frankfort High School from Philadelphia, PA. Then at 1:30 p.m., we have Dickinson High School from Wilmington, Delaware versus Dobbins Tech. 1:30 p.m. Dobbins Tech is, of course, from Philadelphia. Then at 3 p.m., we have St. Mark's High School from Wilmington versus West Philly High from Philadelphia, the Speed Boys.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting matchup, to say the least.
Absolutely, and I'm looking forward to all the games. And 4:30 p.m., we have Newark High School from Newark, Delaware versus Chichester High School, Coach Jones, Chichester High School, Chichester, PA. Then the 6 p.m. game, we have Mount Pleasant High School, the home team from Wilmington, versus Overbrook High School at 6 p.m. for the finale of the Winter Showcase.
Yes, Wilt Chamberlain's alma mater, and you were inducted into the Hall of Fame with Wilt.
Yes.
And, boy, he was one of the greatest of all time. And he wouldn't miss a game. He would never foul out. And, Joel Embiid. It's just different, man. It's just different with these guys, back in the day. And, Wilt could hang with anybody. But anyway, Mark Sills, thank you very much. Appreciate it for coming on the show. And I'll see you next week at the 17th. And please keep in touch. Mark Sills, he's on Facebook, MarkSills, right?
Yes.
Facebook, the Twitter,
And Instagram.
So check him out.
And thank you again for having me. It's been a pleasure.
CMPRadio.net, Delco Sports 364, Mark Sills, and UPA, our engineer. I'm Dave Burman. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.